Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from Homemaker. In our today's video we are going to talk about very basic that we use in everyday gardening. Yes, we are going to talk about the white things that you are seeing in the soil in front of you. And these white things are known as perlite. So what is perlite? In the beginning, when I was new to gardening, I used to think that this perlite is nothing but like it just absorbs water and it retains all that moisture in the soil, and I don't have to keep on watering my plant. But when I researched about it and I gained more knowledge about gardening, I realized that the perlite, it does not actually absorb water. It helps in draining the excess of water so that the plant roots can stay healthy. So basically, what is perlite? So perlite is a naturally occurring amorphous volcanic glass which contains a lot more water content than any other mineral from the volcanic origin. So in its original form, this perlite is not white in color. It is black or gray or even brown with some mix of some other colors like blue, purple, pink, and it's not white at all, and it's very dense and heavy. But the perlite that we buy from the shops or we get from the shops, it's white in color and they're very light. So how do they make that black dense perlite into the white lightweight perlite? So basically what happens is that the perlite, after mining, it is heated to a level of 650 to 900 degrees Celsius, which causes the mineral to soften. Now this process lets the water that's trapped in the volcanic glass to vaporize and escape. So this causes the glass to expand to 7 to 16 times its normal volume, and the remaining trapped air changes the color from dark to brilliant white due to the reflectivity of the remaining water that's inside the glass. Now this newly created material, which is lighter in weight and has got numerous pores and cavities, it helps to retain the water that is required by the plant roots, but also drains the excess of water from the plant. So perlite consists of basically 70 to 75% of silicon oxides, with the mix of few other mineral oxides such as aluminium, sodium, potassium, iron, and many other minerals. But still, even though it has got all those minerals, still it does not alter the chemical composition of the soil. It doesn't add to any nutritive value, or it doesn't deplete any nutritive value of the soil. And also it is a sterile product. It has got a neutral pH which ranges between 6.6 to 7.5, which makes it suitable for any soil type. You can put perlite in plants that love acidic soil, or the plants that love alkaline soil, or with neutral type of soil, the normal soil, but not the clay soil, and I'll tell you why in the end. So perlite basically helps in the gardening. It has got lots of benefits in everyday gardening. The most important benefit is the drainage. So perlite is a natural filtration system, allowing the excess of water to drain through and retaining the moisture and catching all the nutrients that the plant needs to grow. The second important benefit of this adding this perlite into your soil is that it improves the airflow, which is extremely necessary for both the plant roots as well as the other beneficial natural garden inhabitants like worms or microbes. It helps to reduce soil compaction and keeps the soil well aerated. Like you can see here in this pot, you can see the perlite, white color perlite. Now this is the medium grade perlite. It's not as big as the one that you can see here. So basically the perlite comes in many grades as well, fine grade, medium grade, and the coarse perlite as well. So the very fine grade perlite is just like a dust, just like a powder. So that type of perlite is used in growing seedlings or the root cuttings, stem cuttings. So for propagating all these seeds and roots, the fine grade perlite is used. It's mixed in the soil to provide that extra aeration and drainage to the soil. And the medium grade perlite is basically used in the normal potting your little plants or potting the stem cuttings or in propagation. Even you can use the coarse one as well. The coarse ones are like this, which are really big, and you can use them in your big plants, like the plants that are very bigger in size. You can throw them in your garden bed. So these ones are bigger in size, more porous, for more better drainage. Usually a lot of perlite is used in the plants that require very less watering. The plants like snake plants, ZZ plant, succulents, so all these succulents and the plants that need very little watering, we add a lot of perlite into the soil, because these plants they don't like overwatering, they don't like to be in wet, they like dry soil, not very dry, like kind of moist, not soggy. So if you add perlite to your soil for these types of succulents and plants like ZZ plant, poinsettias, snake plants, and even other plants, so it helps in better drainage, keeping the roots healthy and reducing the risk of root rot. So perlite is a carbon-based the carbon-based material which does not contain any chemical. So it can not be used as a chemical fertilizer or anything. As I told you before, that it does not add or does not deplete any nutritive value of the soil. So it's perfectly normal to add it in your soil. It does not have any chemicals in it. So it's not going to harm your plant in any way. So now, as it has got benefits, it has got some drawbacks as well. So one of the drawbacks is like whenever you water your plant, these perlite are so light that they start floating on top of the soil. So, but as the soil absorbs water, these perlite also get settled down. But otherwise it doesn't look very pleasant for all the perlite to keep floating on top. And the other drawback is what I said, that it does not add to any nutritive value. It's not a fertilizer, even though it's an inorganic and it's a carbon-based substance, but it does not provide any nutrition to the plant. It is very poor in absorbing water. It will retain a little bit of water in its cavities and pores, but not a lot of water. It helps basically in drainage. So if you add a lot of perlite into your soil and your plants are water-loving plants, then you might need to keep on watering your plants very frequently. So they don't have help in water retention. For that you can use vermiculite. And the last one is that perlite does not amend the clay soil, because the granules of the clay soil are very, very thin. They're very, very small. They're just like dust, just like very tiny particles, very tiny granules. Whereas if you can see here, these granules, this perlite is very, very thick. So when you water your plant, all that thin clay soil, it sticks to the roots of the plant. Whereas all this perlite, it just starts floating on top of the clay soil. So it does not break the clay soil. Some people think that adding perlite in your clay soil will help to reduce the soil compaction, but it doesn't help in that. To break your clay soil, you can add compost in your soil, you can add coco peat in your soil, and coarse sand also helps in breaking the clay soil. But perlite alone cannot help. Perlite, if you add along with coco peat and compost into your clay soil, then it might help, but alone it will not help amend your clay soil. So friends, this was basically all about perlite and its uses. What is perlite? What are its drawbacks? Oh yes, one more thing I forgot to tell you about. The drawback of perlite is that you need to be very, very careful when you are dealing with perlite, because it whenever you are pouring the perlite from the packet into your plant or anything, you can see that white dust on the sides of the jar. So if you pour, then all these white dust, they come out in the air. And it is not advisable to breathe that silicon dust, because it can injure your lungs, and the people with respiratory problems can get even more affected. So if you are very often working with perlite, it's advised to wear a mask that covers your nose and your mouth, so that the dust cannot enter your lungs. That's another disadvantage of using perlite. Other than that, it's an amazing thing that we use in the gardening. It prevents root rot and keeps the plant healthy by removing all that excess of water if we tend to overwater our plants. So friends, this was all about perlite and its uses, its drawbacks in gardening. If you have any comments, any suggestions or feedbacks, please leave them in the comment section. And before you leave, please check the description box for more information. If you have already liked and subscribed, thank you so much for that. And if you are new to our channel, then please subscribe for more exciting videos related to your home and garden. I'll see you next time with another exciting video. Till then, stay safe and happy gardening. See you next time. Bye bye.